This Zoom session has been brought to you by the Fractal Hex Rouleau Triumphs. All right, let's start off. Oh, this is a good one. We're getting to the point where we actually start to solve equations. It's good. I mean, we've been doing a lot of factoring, and so okay. The point is the purpose of the factoring is to solve equations, which is sort of the basic rule of what algebra is about, is solving things. And so, okay, the idea is what's called the zero factors rule, which says that if a product equals zero, so an expression once factored is equal to zero, then one of the factors must be zero. A product equals zero means that one of the factors is zero. So for example, x squared minus 7x equals zero. To solve that, we factor x squared minus 7x into x times x minus 7. That equals zero. Therefore, one of the factors is zero. Either x is zero or x minus 7 is zero. If x minus 7 is 0, then x is 7. So x is 0, or plugging it in, you can see that it works. 0 squared minus 7 times 0 is 0 minus 0, which is 0. 7 squared minus 7 times 7 is 49 minus 49, which also is 0. Here's a fairly easy one. X plus 7 times x minus 7 is 0. Therefore, one of these factors is 0. Either x plus 7 is 0 or x minus 7 is 0. Therefore, x is minus 7 or positive 7. Here we have three factors equaling 0, and then one of the three must be 0. So x minus 1 times x plus 2 times x minus 3 equals 0 means that either x minus 1 is 0, or x plus 2 is 0, or x minus 3 is 0, which means that either x equals 1, or x is negative 2, or x is 3. All right, so a bunch of examples we'll run through. 6x times 2x minus 5 equals 0. Well, that means that either 6x is 0 or 2x minus 5 is 0. If 6x equals 0, then x is 0. If 2x minus 5 is 0, then 2x equals 5, and x is 5 halves. So it's 0 or 5 halves. Now here we have, well, here we just start factoring out of your proper quadratic. A squared plus 8a plus 15 is 0. So to factor it, we need two numbers p and q, whose sum is 8 and whose product is 15. And long story short, 3 and 5 do the job. Their sum is 8, their product is 15. So 8 plus 3 times 8 plus 5 is 0. Therefore, 8 plus 3 is 0, or 8 plus 5 is 0. Therefore, a is negative 3, or a is negative 5. You have 9y squared minus 49 is 0. This factors as a difference of squares. This is the square of 3y. This is the square of 7. Difference of squares is a difference times a sum. 3y minus 7 times 3y plus 7 is 0. So one of these factors is 0. 3y minus 7 is 0, or 3y plus 7 is 0. And after a little bit of algebra, you get that y is 7/3 or y is negative 7/3. Now here we have to do a little bit of manipulating. In fact, these two, we have to put it in the right form. Because here, neither side is, well, the left side is certainly not terribly factorable. And also, it's not in the form of something equals 0. So we fix that by moving the 6x to the left. So we have 5x squared minus 6x plus 1 equals 0. Now to factor this by the AC method, we need two numbers whose sum is negative 6. And its product is 5 times 1, which is 5. And negative 5 and negative 6 do the trick. Their sum is negative 6, their product's 5. So we write negative 6x is negative 5x minus 1x here. 5x squared minus 5x minus x plus 1. All right, now, so we factor by grouping. These two terms, 5x squared minus 5x, have a common factor of 5x times, and then if you divide it, you get x minus 1. This is a minus x plus 1, which is the opposite of x minus 1. So we pull out a negative 1. Now I have x minus 1 in common, pull it out, times 5x minus 1, there that is. So 5x minus 1 times x minus 1 is 0. Therefore, one of these factors is 0. Either 5x minus 1 is 0, or x minus 1 is 0. And this solves to x is 1/5, and this solves to x equals 1. 1/5 or 1 solves this equation. Here's 2x squared minus 3x equals 20. Again, it's not in the proper equals 0 form, and we fix that by moving the 20 to the left. 2x squared minus 3x minus 20 is 0. So AC method, we want two numbers whose sum is negative 3. And its product is 2 times negative 20, which is negative 40. And negative 8 and 5 do the trick. Their sum's negative 3, their product's negative 40. So right, minus 3x is minus 8x plus 5x. So these first two terms, 2x squared minus 8x, have a common factor of 2x times, well, when you divide it out, x minus 4. 5x minus 20 have a common factor of 5 times x minus 4. Pull out the x minus 4, and we're left with 2x plus 5 times x minus 4 equals 0. So therefore, the product is 0. Therefore, 2x plus 5 is 0, or x minus 4 is 0. This first gives you x is negative 5 halves. This gives you x equals 4. Now here, it's not fully factored. X minus 2 times x squared minus 8x plus 7. Okay, this is 0, or this is 0, but let's factor this. P and Q must be negative 8. Their product must be 7. Negative 7 and negative 1 do the job. So this factors into x minus 2 times x minus 7 times x minus 1 is 0. So either x minus 2 is 0, or x minus 7 is 0, or x minus 1 is 0. And therefore x is 2, or x is 7, or x is 1. These are the three solutions to this equation. Now here they deliberately wrote it in a mixed up fashion. Minus 15x squared plus 2 plus 7x equals 0. Okay, these two are scrambled around. We fix that. Minus 15x squared plus 7x plus 2 is 0. For the AC net method, we need P and Q, whose sum is 7, and its product is negative 15 times 2, which is negative 30. 10 and negative 3 do the job. The sum is 7, their product's negative 30 as required. So we write 7x as 10x minus 3x here. Now here, minus 15x squared plus 10x, there's a common factor of 5. Actually, I'm going to make it negative 5. And of x, so negative 5x times, and when you divide it out, 3x minus 2. Here's a minus 3x plus 2. Let's pull out a negative 1, and that's times 3x minus 2. Okay, we have a 3x minus 2 in common. Pull it out, times negative 5x minus 1. Negative 5x minus 1 times 3x minus 2 is 0. So negative 5x minus 1 is 0, or 3x minus 2 is 0. This, after a bit of transposition, gets you x is negative 1/5. This, after a bit of work, x is 2/3. These are the two solutions. All right. 4p squared minus 121 equals 0. This is a difference of squares. 4p squared is the square of 2p. 121 is 11 squared. A difference of squares is a difference times a sum. 2p minus 11 times 2p plus 11 is 0. So one of these is 0. 2p minus 11 is 0, or 2p plus 11 is 0. And after transposing the 11 and the 2, you get the x. P is 11 halves, or p is negative 11 halves. Here we have d times 8d minus 9 is negative 1. Now, if that were only a 0, then we could, get d is 0, or d is 9/8, whatever. But this negative 1 means we have to do what I call breaking a vase in order to glue it back together again. Meaning I'm going to distribute the d and transpose the 1 and factor the result. I have an annoying kitty. Just a second. All right, so we distribute the d, we transpose the 1, get 8d squared minus 9d plus 1. All right, as before, AC method. The P and Q must sum to negative 9. Their product must be 8 times 1, which is 8. And negative 8 and negative 1 do the job. Their sum's negative 9, their product's positive 8. So you write minus 9d as minus 8d minus d. 8d squared minus 8d minus d plus 1. There we go. These two terms have a common factor of 8d times, after division, d minus 1. This is negative d plus 1, so we pull out a negative, so it's negative 1 times d minus 1. And now we have a d minus 1 in common. Out it comes. D minus 1 times 8d minus 1 there. So 8d minus 1 times d minus 1 equals 0. One of these must equal 0. So 8d minus 1 is 0, or d minus 1 is 0. Transpose the 1 in the 8. D is 1/8. Transpose the 1. D is 1. So d is 1/8, or 1. Here, 105 A and B, first we factor something and then we solve the equation. All right, 12n squared minus 5n minus 2. So to factor it, okay, we need P and Q's sum is -5. This product is 12 times -2, which is -24. -8 and 3 do the job. So their sum is -5, their product's -24. So you write -5n is minus 8n plus 3n, like this. 12n squared minus 8n plus 3n minus 2. 12n squared minus 8n has a common factor of 4n times, after division, 3n minus 2. We already have a 3n minus 2 here times a 1. Remove a 3n minus 2 factor and we're left with 4n plus 1. So 4n plus 1 times 3n minus 2. That's factoring this. 105b is obviously related to 105a. It's solving the equation 12n squared minus 5n minus 2 equals 0. Well, we've already factored the left side as this 4n minus 1 times 3n minus 2 equals 0. And as before, one of these factors is 0. So 4n minus 1 is 0, and therefore n is -1/4. Or 3n minus 2 is 0, and therefore n is 2/3. All right. That concludes this section.